So in today's video we will talk about geometrical classification of the folds. First, geometrical classification is based on size, shape and angles. And first is based on the symmetrical. The symmetrical and this is asymmetrical. In symmetrical the limbs dip in the same angle and the axial plane is vertical. And here the axial plane is little bit inclined. In asymmetrical limbs dip at different angle, the axial plane is not vertical or inclined. The second is based on the arching direction. First is the antiform which arches upwards like this. And here the convex side is upwards and the concave side is downwards. Here antiform, synform. In antiform, this is the convex side which is upwards and this concave side which is downwards. And in synform, the concave side is upwards and convex side is downwards. Then based on the relative edges, anticline, here the older rocks are at the core and it is arching upward. And syncline, it is arching downward and the younger rocks at the core. Anticline is further divided into two types, antiform anticline and synform syncline. Antiform anticline is arching upwards and older rocks are at the core. And synform anticline, here the older rocks are at the core but it is arching downwards. Syncline, antiform syncline, here the younger rocks are at the core and it is arching upwards. Synform syncline, here younger rocks are at the core but it is arching downwards. Anticlinorium, it consists of a large anticline which consists of small anticlines and synclines. Synclinorium, here it is a large syncline contains small anticlines and synclines. Antiform, synform. Antiform, synform. Anticline, syncline. Anticline, antiform, it is like this. Antiform, anticline, and synform, syncline, it is like this. Similarly, syncline, antiform, it will be like this, and synform, syncline will like this. Here antiform anticline, older rocks are at the core and younger are at outside. Here older rocks are at the core, younger are at the outside. Synform anticline, but synform anticline is arching downwards and antiform anticline is arching upward. Antiform syncline, In antiform syncline, younger rocks are at the core and older are outside, and it is arching upward. And syncline synform, here younger rocks are at the core and older are outside, but it is arching downwards. And based on the attitude of the axial plane, overturn when the axial plane is inclined and lips dip at the same direction. Recumbent fold when the axial plane is horizontal and limbs dip at same direction, represent intense folding. Is the overturned fold. Is the overturned fold, and this is the recumbent fold. Here the axial plane is horizontal. And based on the attitude of the limb and the axial plane, isoclinal, limbs dip at same angle and direction. Here it is classified into three types: vertical, inclined, and recumbent. Vertical, it has axial plane vertical, inclined which has axial plane inclined, and recumbent which has axial plane horizontal. Then based on the attitude of the fold axis, plunging and non-plunging. Plunging means that when the fold axis is inclined instead of horizontal. In normal non-plunging fold, the fold axis is like this. But in case of plunging folds, it is like this. This would be the fold axis, but now it is inclined. And this is the plunge angle. And this is the fold axis. And the fold axis is inclined instead of horizontal. Non-plunging fold axis is horizontal. Generally, all types of folds are non-plunging. And based on the tightness of the limbs or interlimb angle, gentle folds have angle greater than 120 degree. Open folds have limbs angle 70 to 120 degree. Closed have 30 to 70 degree. Tight have 10 to 30 degrees. Then special folds. Dome. In this case, the limbs dip away from each other and beds dip radially outwards from the center. Basin. Limbs dip towards each other, beds dip radially inwards toward the center. In fan fold, here both the limbs are overturned. In anticline, limbs dip towards each other, and in syncline, limbs dip away from each other. This is anticline. The limbs are dipping towards each other. In syncline, limbs are dipping away from each other. In chevron folds, here limbs are straight and dip away from each other, and the important point is that the crest and trough of these folds are pointed. In monocline folds, it is the horizontally bedded rocks where slip, steepening or bending of the bed occurs. A little bending of the bed has occurred. This is the monocline. Structural terrace represent multiple monocline folds flattening in uniformly dipping beds. It represents the multiple monocline folds like this. Monocline was like this. It represents multiple monocline folds. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.